Welcome to r/Talesfromretail, where a customer demands that a cashier smell their dirty, stained underwear. Our first post is from VitaminChtonian. A few years ago, I worked at a toy store. It's in an area where conservative meets alternative, so it's a mishmash of parenting styles and behaviors from the kids. One interaction that stuck in my mind was a mother who looked like she rubbed a magical bong 3 times and wished for the greenie genie to teleport her and her beatnik looking kid from Woodstock 69 to the 21st century. Within 2 seconds of entering, the kid flies to the front counter where we keep all the dollar toys. Stamps, rubber balls, fidget spinners, slinkies, those kinds of toys. He starts pulling out a pair of wooden airplanes from the shelf and begins to pretend a dogfight. The mother flips out, and I can tell she wants to take the toys off him, but is restraining herself. Instead, she just says, "Octopus! Octopus!" over and over again. It sounded like a command. At first, I assumed she named her kid Octopus. She was alternative after all. However, after she then said the name Snoopy, not the real name, I realized the kid's name was not Octopus, but we also didn't stock any aquatic animal toys where Snoopy was playing. The mother notices me watching from behind the register and she looks at me apologetically. "I'm sorry, he keeps touching the toys when I told him he could look around only." I wasn't mad. Kids are kids, and plenty of them go nuts when they enter a toy store. Oh, was he looking for an octopus toy? Snoopy stops playing, just looks up at me, and the mother quickly hushes me and gets real close. "I'm trying to raise my boy with positive words. The real word is so negative, so I'm substituting it for octopus." What real word? She lowers her voice to a whisper. She is panicking that her answer might be overheard and undo 5 years of parenting and transform her son into a rebel that protects the establishment. 14th letter followed by 15th letter. It took me a bit to realize octopus was used instead of no. This kid is going to have a weird time at the marine section in the zoo. There is octopus way that this kid is going to grow up to be a normal member of society. I mean, he's going to have octopus social skills whatsoever. Our next post is from VoidJaunt. So I work part-time at a convenience store while going to college on my GI Bill. Really, it's just to keep me busy while I'm not in school or gaming. We recently had 2 people quit, so my part-time hours for the last couple weeks have been full-time. Stretched between full-time school, full-time work, and full-time gaming, my days have been much more stressful than normal. And today, I got a Karen in line. Behind her is a regular customer who I've waited on a million times. I was ringing her up, and she had too many items for our bag carousel, so I had to put some off to the side. When she turned it to begin picking up her bags, some fell over onto the ground. I go to pick them up, but that's not enough for her. She demands that I give them to her for free, which I can't because I dropped paper towels and napkins. I explain I can't since nothing broke, and she goes off on a tangent about how I was rude, threw her stuff on the ground, and this is why I'm clerking in a store and don't have a real job. I look around and see octopus one else around besides my regulars, so I lean in real close and go, "Hey, lady, you're a bit of a jerk, just so you know." She's flabbergasted, starts yelling and screaming for my manager, so I call him up. He listens and then asks me what happened. I tell him she began yelling, so I told her she was being rude and never called her a jerk. My manager says he knows me personally and knows I would never do that. She points to the regular behind her and tells my manager that he heard it. The regular goes, "OP didn't say anything like that. This lady is nuts." So my manager tells her that since her transaction is over, she has to leave. She's red in the face at this point and storms outside, saying she's gonna fix my butt. I watch her go outside to make sure she isn't coming back with a gun or anything, but now she's screaming at her husband in her car. He comes in after a minute or so and apologizes to me and says he knows how she can get and I should just ignore her. He apologizes for the trouble again and they leave. It's been the best day of my retail life. I feel sorry for this husband. He has octopus clue what's going on, and the wife just rips his head off. And I gotta say, that regular was a real bro. If I were OP in this situation, I'd probably slip him a few freebies. Our next post is from PumpkinSpice-My-Life. I worked at a retail store a few years ago, and we had a special sale where customers donate to charity and get a 20% coupon for the whole day. Now, the point of the sale was to give money to local charities. 100% of the money donated went to charity. It was a $5 minimum, and the customer receives a $5 off their first purchase, plus a 20% coupon to use all day on anything in the store. So basically, the customer is not out any money. They don't lose money by donating. So in walks this Karen. She comes up to my register and wants to purchase a dress and get the charity option. I say, okay, I will add the $5 donation and you will get that $5 taken off the price, and then I can apply the 20% to your total. Octopus, I don't want to spend $5. I just want the 20%. Oh, you can only get the 20% when you donate $5 to charity, but you get the $5 off your purchase as well as the 20%. I don't want to give money to charity. Well, that's the whole point of the sale. Well, that's $5 I could spend on myself. You aren't losing $5. You get the $5 off the dress plus the 20%. You get both discounts. Just give me the 20%. I can't do that unless you donate. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it is. Karen refuses to donate, so I sell the dress to her for regular price and she goes on her stupid way. I really don't understand why she was so hostile and refused to donate. I do know some people are very picky about which charities they give money to, but we had the charities listed at every register, and they were all local places and all the money stayed in the local area, so it wasn't like it was going to a CEO's jet or something. OP, I think you're misunderstanding the situation here. It's not that Karen doesn't understand the discount. This is a Karen that we're talking about. It's more likely that she does understand the discount and she's rejecting it because Karens are philosophically and ethically opposed to being nice to anyone. They are honestly so spiteful that they would rather pay full price rather than get a discount but give some of their money to a charity. Our next post is from Gadgets MWe. Had someone try to return underwear to my store today. We don't even sell underwear, but I have to go through the we cannot return undergarments spiel first regardless. This woman, who doesn't look a day over 40, comes in with a ratty looking plastic bag from another store and sets it on the return counter. I open the bag and almost recoil. It's a dirty pair of underwear. I immediately close and tie the bag and say apologetically, sorry, we don't return undergarments. They are sold final sale. The woman argues firstly that they were only just opened and look like that, and that they're absolutely unworn and not dirty. I explain in the gentlest way possible. There's definitely a brownish reddish stain on them, and she gets frustrated and says, "It's wine. I accidentally spilled wine on them when I was taking them out to look at them. Just return them, please. It's within the time frame." I utterly refuse and explain that in addition to not even selling underwear at the store, we certainly won't take underwear with mystery stains back. She then says, "It's just wine. Smell it," and starts opening the bag, presumably to allow me to smell her dirty underwear. I finally just interrupt her. Rude, I know, and tell her octopus and that she wasn't returning them to a store they weren't even from. She asked to talk to a manager, but I didn't see how it went down since I didn't want to risk being around if that underwear made it out of the bag. Really nasty stuff. I almost have to wonder if she wasn't trying to return the underwear at all, but instead she has some weird fetish where she likes strangers to smell her underwear, and this was one of her weird strategies to get people to sniff it. Also, OP, don't apologize for interrupting this lady. When someone's trying to shove stained underwear in your face, I think that's an appropriate situation to tell them to step the F back. Our next post is from Decadorian. I work as an assistant manager at a large crafts retailer. One day, I am on a register helping out with busy lines when I get an older couple at my register. I ring everything up and then she pays in cash. After I give the wife the change, she asks if she could get the change for $2 in quarters. I say, alright, and take the $2 and give her 8 quarters. I thought everything was perfect until the husband chipped in. You need to give my wife the correct change. She gave you $2. I did give her the correct change, sir. Octopus, you didn't. I was standing here the whole time. You need to learn how to count money correctly. I took 2 $1 bills from her and gave her, Don't explain your mistake to me. Talk to my wife and apologize to her. The husband then proceeds to leave the store while I'm standing there with his wife. She gives me a sympathetic look, like she knows I was right. I'm sorry about that. I will just be taking my things and leaving now. Thank you. She leaves the store and meets her husband outside. I'm watching through the doors as her husband approaches her, probably asking if I gave her the right change. All of a sudden, he starts shaking angrily and stomps back into the store. I'm standing there thinking, oh man, what is this guy's problem? The man stomps right in front of me and gives me a dirty look. I want to talk to the highest manager here right now. I call the store manager and he meets the guy up front. This idiot needs to learn how to count change correctly. My wife gave him $2 and your idiot gave her 8 quarters. My manager says 8 quarters is $2, sir. But we can check the cameras above the register just to make sure everything was done correctly if you'd like. Don't waste your time. You are both stupid beyond compare. I'm calling the police. The police show up and ask what is going on. We state everything that happened and even offer to show them the cameras. The police say there's octopus need and ask if they want us to escort the man off the property. The store manager says yes because he is banning the man from our store. I still have octopus idea why that guy thought 8 quarters wasn't $2. I honestly have to wonder if dementia or Alzheimer's literally kicked in right when this guy was standing at the register. In all the stories I've ever read, I've never seen someone so angry and be so wrong at the same time. Our next post is from loopymoony. So a bit of background. I used to work at a very large superstore as a cashier. I had a few odd experiences there. Some crazies, some idiots, some drunks, some that were a combination of the 3. I might post more here another time, but for now, just the one. Now, like all stores of this type I have visited, mine had security checkpoints by each door. You know, those things that set off an alarm if you take something that has a sensor in the packaging without scanning it. These usually have cardboard advertisements on them for things the store offers or offered by the company. Today's story involves a customer not understanding an ad and making it my fault. I'm about halfway done through one customer's items when crazy customer comes storming up to the register I'm working at. Hey, do you guys have company streaming service? As a quick aside, OP uses the phrase company streaming service a lot in the stories, so I'm just going to abbreviate it to YouTube Red. I'm sorry? He gives me a what, are you stupid look? YouTube Red, do you guys carry it or what? It takes me a moment to switch gears. Oh, YouTube Red. Yeah, do you carry it or what? I'm sorry, sir, but I don't understand. We carry multiple devices in the back that can stream YouTube Red, but... Octopus! I mean, do you have it? I want to buy YouTube Red. I blink. I'm not sure what he means, so I try to keep helping him while he steps in front of the customer I was helping before. Well, sir, it's not something you really buy here in the store. It's a service that you apply for on Octopus, Octopus, Octopus. You had the ad posted right up there at the front of the store, and I want to buy it. Why is that so hard to figure out? Like I'm trying to tell you, sir, you don't buy it, you subscribe to it. And you can't do that here. He cuts me off again. You sound like that idiot in the electronics section. I just want to buy your effing YouTube Red. What part of that is not clear, you freaking idiots? By now, my boss has heard the commotion and has come running. What seems to be the problem here? Finally, you hire a bunch of idiots here, don't you? I keep telling this boy that I want to buy YouTube Red, and he doesn't seem to be getting the picture. Sir, YouTube Red is a streaming service like Netflix or Hulu. It's not something physical you can pick up and take out of the store with you. The man only seemed to hear parts of her sentence. Octopus! I don't want Hulu or Netflix. I want god dang YouTube Red. What is wrong with you people? Just give me effing YouTube Red. Sir, as we've tried to explain to you, you need to sign up for YouTube Red, not purchase it here. The crazy customer lets out a frustrated yell and stomps off. I think that's the end of it, but less than a minute later, he's back with the cardboard display ripped from the scanner in his hands. I effing want this. After screaming, he chucks the cardboard at me. It's light, so it doesn't really do any damage, but I let out a surprised splutter and I can't really be seen behind it. I hear Boss talking very rapidly on her walkie-talkie and hurrying footsteps. As I pull the cardboard sheath away from my face, I see her running after the crazy customer towards the parking lot, screaming the whole time about how stupid we all were at that particular store. They got his license plate number off the security cameras and banned him from our store. Come to find out, he had done pretty much the exact same thing at 3 other stores in the area. That reminds me, you can now find my YouTube videos in the produce section of your local grocery store, right next to the fresh internets. That was r/Talesfromretail, and this is r/Puppy Bloopers. 14th letter followed by 15th. 14th letter followed by 5th. It took me a bit... It took me a bit to realize... It took me a... You go. You go. Octopus. Octopus, dog. You go. Octopus. You go. Ah. It took me a bit to... It took me a bit... It took me a bit... Dog! What do you want? Octopus means octopus. You gotta respect it, dog. Ah. You little octopooch. You little octopuppy. Octopuppy. Oh, row, 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 row. Oh, row, 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 row. Oh, row, 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 row. It took me a bit to... It took me... You go. Octopus. I said octopus. It took me a bit to realize... It took me a bit to realize octopus was used instead of no.